I'm like,
you were dreaming about me?
Yes, I was dreaming about you, yeah.
Not creepy at all.
No, not creepy at all.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Jimmy, how's it going?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, good. So I was binging this show just recently, and whenever I binge a show, I get like dreams about it. It could be like a dream or a nightmare, and I'm like...
You were dreaming about me?
Yes, I was dreaming about you, yeah.
Not creepy at all.
No, not creepy at all. But it felt like I was like trapped, and like I gotta solve a mystery. So I don't know if, for you, if you ever had that feeling of like, oh my God, like you're binging something, and then you're like in it.
Yeah, totally. I actually, that's why I don't watch horror movies.
Yeah.
Like I get very scared. Like if it's especially something supernatural. Like if it's like a murder series, I can kind of deal with that. You
Yeah.
know, at least I can put up a fight. But I don't watch anything with ghosts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then with this show, it's very, for me, trippy and just like a lot of layers to it. So in my dream, it felt like more layers within the layers. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Like, what is
Maybe
happening?
it wasn't a dream at all. Maybe
Yeah,
that's just a show. Yeah. But I think that's the beauty of the show. Like hopefully people can go back and watch it twice, 3 times, whatever, and still discover new things. There's so many layers and nuances, and the world gets crazier and crazier. Like it's Law and Order meets Twilight Zone meets Willis, who's this background actor living in Chinatown, you know. But hopefully, I guess my job playing Willis as an actor is just to ground him in his life and his relationships in very human experiences. He's just someone that want to break out of his role, want to be more, want to please his parents, but also, you know, do something better for himself, right? So he also serves as kind of like the audience's POV into this crazy world.
And how do you feel personally? Because you've been in like a lot of projects, and I
Yeah.
see like you're like the supporting character,
Yeah.
and like the good best friend. But now you're like the guy, and now you have your own best friend.
Yeah. It's kind of wild. Like when I was reading the script and the book, I'm like, man, I can relate so well. Was this based on me? Charlie, you better give me some royalty on this.
Yeah.
But then that's the brilliance of the book, right? And the show, it's like a lot of people can relate to it. You know, whether you're Asian American or an actor in this industry, or just someone who's ever been an underdog that felt like you're stuck in the background of someone else's story. Whether you're working at a desk in your office, you feel like this is really your boss's story, but you're stuck. So it's just an underdog story that I hope everyone can relate to. But the similarity was kind of crazy, you know? Like he started off as generic Asian man. I was Chinese teenager #1 on a show, and then he snuck his way into being a tech guy, and I was a tech guy for like 6 years on Silicon Valley. So a lot of it was just pieces of myself that I was able to put into the character.
Yeah, and what I like about when watching it, there's like a sense of persistence, not giving up, because like the scene with the front door with the police
that was
department,
fun.
you just keep trying to go in. You're like, no, and then finally you're able to like just get in.
Yeah.
And so like the message of that, like how do you feel like just keep going?
Just keep going. It's almost, and maybe it's an allegory to life, it's almost like a video game. You know, whenever you feel like a background character, an NPC, if you believe in it, if you feel like you can do more, go do it and then fight for it. You know, nobody's just gonna open the door and let you in. You gotta kick it down. You gotta find ways around it. You know, and each episode is almost like Willis going through a level of life and this video game that he cracks the code in, and he gets one level after another.
And for a last question, just being in it and just like the little subtleties of seeing the characters like just inching over as a background and then finally seeing them in the foreground. When did it click for you? Like, okay, I get like what this thing is all about.
You know, I think every department pitched in and did such creative things. We really used like the edge of frame, the lighting shifts, you know, the camera movement's different when it's in show mode, the Law and Order black and white mode, than in Willis's life. Like the show mode is smoother, the lighting is better, more makeup, and then in Willis's life it's all shaky and like pretty bleak at times. And even the makeup, I wore much less makeup or no makeup compared to the 2 detectives, you know, especially in the beginning. So I think each department like pitched in, and it's not up to me to say. I think it's up to the audience to feel it and say when they start realizing okay, I get it now. This is what they're trying to do. And each small pieces and each small even camera movement, makeup choices, I think helps with telling that story.
All right. Well, thanks, Jimmy, for taking the time, and I can't wait for everyone else to watch the show.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Take care. How's it going?
Pretty good, John. How are you?
Yeah. So good. Yeah, I was asking the others. Like, I had a kind of like a dream because I was binge watching the show, and I felt like I was trapped in the show. So nightmare or maybe good dreams, who knows?
Wow.
But I was wondering if that has ever happened to you both, like something where you did something and just in your dreams, or a project, or watching a show.
Man, all the time.
Yeah.
Because I think I get into this habit of taking myself out of myself and dream about it and see what comes out, because I think it's part of my creative process, right? So if I'm doing a show, I'm not in a show, or I'm trying to think I should be in a show, then I take myself out and let myself watch what happened when I'm dreaming.
You ever have those experiences where you're dreaming? First of all, when you wake up, you're like not sure for a while whether it was really a dream or not. Have you ever had those? Like
Oh yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
So, or if it's another thing where you're dreaming and it's an idea, and I often think, oh, let's go back to bed, I'll remember, and then I don't. I like get up and write it down if I had because
Yeah.
you don't want to lose it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. And this show, both of your characters, there's like, I'm watching it. First episode, it's like, all right, you're just working at the restaurant or being the dad, but then there's like more to them as I'm watching it. It's like you're showing off like your martial arts, and then you're showing off like I guess shadier side. Who knows? So what was that like? Just reading the script and just digging deep into that and just learning more about the characters.
The funny thing is about my character, I didn't realize until I was on set. My character wasn't even who I thought it was. Like I actually,
That's for the EPK, okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, man, but
So
wait till you hear it in the EPK, then you can say, "Oh yeah, he's right."
Yeah, I was really. I had multiple conversations with Charlie about it, and like the evolution of the stories was really awesome to be part of. It was very collaborative, mutual discovery sort of thing in a lot of ways. Because as we're doing this story, as we're shooting the production, we're also trying to be mindful of the bigger picture of like what is it that we're expressing, and how are we putting it out there.
Yeah. And then, for the movie, or not, no, the show, martial arts, fighting, we get to see just a little bit more of you, like just kind of, there's practicing, and you get to, you're the one that trains Jimmy's brother. And so what was that like, just getting into that, just physicality of it?
Well, I started out as a martial artist
Yeah.
to begin with. I just stopped doing it because I want to be an actor.
Yeah.
I want to be seen as an actor first and not a martial artist. So I stopped doing martial arts. For that, I went to dance instead. So I danced professionally for 5 years. So then I went to be trained that way, right? So now it's kind of a full short circle, and I come back to this, where I am a martial artist. So really, in that sense, it's nothing foreign to me. It's all, something that I already started doing since I was 8 years old.
And I feel that it's not foreign, the concept of just the characters in the script, but then there's like something more where they're trying to like persevere and just push through things. Like Jimmy's character, he's trying to be more than what he is. And I don't know, like for both of you, just like the characters in this, what was that like, just seeing the characters getting to just have more life to them?
Well, a lot of times, it's really difficult because sometimes you don't say, okay, so is this the reality or is this the imagine? I mean, so a lot of times, I am not sure. So what I try to do is really just tear all the trimmings off and focus on what the core is. Whatever the core is, whatever it may be, if it becomes reality, great. If it becomes, imagine, that's great too. So I try not to have expectations about it because it frees me. Then I continue to explore, because if there's not something what they see, and say, can we do that take again? Can we like do this? It's like, cool, let's do it.
Well, as you're asking that, and as Ty is talking about, I'm thinking to myself, it's interesting because this is not a comment on the backdrop of the story being in Chinatown, but just in general of us as humans, as each individual's personal pursuit and desires. whatever that thing is that if you have that thing in your heart that you really want to do or be or pursue, at what point did you let go of it? At what point did you stop chasing that dream? You know what I mean? That's an interesting, I was just thinking that as he's talking, like Willis has not, right? He's not of that age yet where he's like, you know what, I gave up on he's not, he wants to break through that wall, right? And that's what we're following is what sort of consequence comes with that.
Hell yeah.
Reactor.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I love just the show when you're in it, like just this aura. You guys are the detectives, the cops, just handling things. So what did it feel like being on the set, walking around, the lights just shining at you, like, yeah.
Oh, badass, right?
Yeah, it was kinda cool.
To be in a procedural, you've seen procedurals your whole life, and all of a sudden you're in one was awesome.
And this script, or just me watching it, I'm like, what is happening? Like, there's like layers getting peeled off. For you guys, what was it like when it clicked for you, like, okay, this is where the show's headed?
Made me want to be more of a part of it. Because you think you know what it is, and then it's something different, but it's actually better than the thing that you thought that it were.
I actually got really scared because I thought in the beginning when we were playing these tropes of these characters, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like that's like sketch comedy, that's broad, that's fun. And then when it starts to dismantle, then you become a real person, and I think it's really hard to act like a real person.
But killed it.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, because the first when you're watching it, it's like it's very very tropey, it's just very familiar, and then that's what I love about the show. Like you start seeing them as people, and I think for both of you, like just getting to dive deep into the characters, what was like the most challenging part?
I think trying to do the broad procedural thing, but also make it real and not have people check out because they go, okay, I've seen this before, I know what's happening, but to try to make it more authentic and more real.
I agree. By the way, my clip-on earring is falling off. Oh, you know, only one of us really has their ears pierced. Show yours. His are real, and mine are not.
Yours. Oh my God! Now I feel like I gotta join you now.
Yeah. Come here.
Okay, so before joining the project, what was it like just with the whole being like the official like cop kind of feeling, like acting it, preparation? What was that like?
Watching a lot of Law and Order, watching a lot of TV shows. Yeah.
And the costumes for me at least really helped too, and like getting a gun and a badge, and then suddenly you think you're gonna struggle feeling powerful, but then you're drunk with power.
And I don't know if you ever like look at yourself like after everything's done with the shooting and photos, because I think I saw one photo of you like looks like a cool like poster. You're holding the weapon. And I don't know if you get to like keep like a cool poster like that.
Oh, that's a good question.
We need to keep a poster like that. Yeah. Do you know someone we could talk to
got
find
one?
it? Do you have a poster like that?
I don't know. No,
Okay.
not me.
Okay.
And I want to ask because I was binging the show, and every time I binge a show like late night, I start to have dreams about it. And I don't know if any of you had like
Love that.
problems with that. Like it could be a nightmare or it could be like a happy dream. But I felt like in this show I was stuck. I got to get out, and I got to solve a crime. So anything like that for you?
We shot it so long ago. It feels like.
Yeah. I think I dreamed about the car that we drive this like old school like 90s 80s car, and in some dreams I'm in the car and I'm driving.
Wow.
Yeah, it's deep.